Back again, it's about what week 8, week 9, somewhere around there. But either way, full disclosure, I didn't record my physique morning, so this is how we're looking currently after a workout. So I am probably gonna be a little fuller, but the leanness is definitely showing there. Overall, on track. I didn't even weigh myself today, but everything's looking good. We got 2.5 more weeks to go. Either way, this is current look. Definitely lean. You can tell I'm flatter now after being in the deficit for a minute. But yeah, it's pretty much where we're at. Now let's get into the real talk. Regardless of who you are, if you're trying to get lean throughout the road, and I'm not talking about just week 1 or even the last week, there are going to be hiccups that determine whether you actually get lean or you don't. And you know that quote, everybody has a plan till they get punched in the face. You can have this whole plan laid out about what you're gonna do in order to get lean, but when you're actually doing it and things come up, that's when it really tests you. And this happened to me. This past week I got sick, and sick, violently ill to I was just bedridden for 2 to 3 days, 3 days. And I had to pause the cut. And this is where so many people would either spiral downwards because it slows down progress. It feels like you're losing momentum. Or this is where people just up and all quit. Or this is just where people try to force themselves through without taking the proper rest. Then instead of being out for 3 days, they're out for a whole week. And then who knows what goes on during that week. Instances just like this one. And it's not necessarily about being sick. Maybe something happens in your life. But there are always going to be things that come up while you're trying to get to your goal. If you don't have proper structure to keep you from going beneath what you said you were gonna do and becoming the person to actually get lean, then you're lost at sea. During this time, I just felt so demotivated, especially after this being my last 3 weeks, and I was really looking forward to it. I had a lot of momentum built up. I was looking better, and I had 5 sessions, 5 days of healthy training in the last cycle, and I was really looking forward to finally getting this over with. And then it just hit me out of nowhere, and then everything came crumbling down. Guys, I can't tell you how much I wanted to quit. In my mind, or not necessarily that I was gonna quit, but in my mind, I kind of was just so negative. I was like, what's even the point? Man, should I just end it here because it is tough? And obviously I would never do that because this keeps me accountable, and I have to be the proof of concept for everyone watching this video. But this just goes to show that, and it's not just one instance, there might be multiple instances of this throughout your entire 12 weeks of getting lean. And if you don't handle them properly, it's gonna make or break your plan. I'm the epitome of doing all of this, and in all these videos I've been showing myself doing this, and this is just in real time, problem solving. In real time, problems hitting me, shit hitting the fan. Being sick out for 3 days straight. I wasn't able to train, I wasn't able to be in the deficit, and I kind of had to take it to the chin because if I try to force myself through it, then it would have cost me maybe 10 days of recovery instead of 3 because I would have got myself more sick. Or if I just quit up and all, then I wouldn't have got to the level of leanness I want to get to. In this whole plan that I even have here, there's no way I'm shortcutting it. I'm doing everything I said I was going to do. I'm sticking to it no matter what, and I'm going to finish it in front of your guys' very eyes, just to show that there's really no reason why you should not be getting lean. If you have the right proper structure, if you're doing the right things, then there is no other result but you getting lean. And if you guys are currently in a cut and you want to ensure that you actually get lean, and things are not up in the air no more, and you stop resetting your diets and you actually finally get results, book a call with me down below so we can just get you from point A to point B with no friction and cross. You'll learn everything, and you just don't have to worry about restarting your diets again, or is this really gonna work this time, and anything that comes like this along the road to get handled so you can have that to take with you for the rest of your life. Either way, if you're ready to actually become the person who gets lean, then like I said, just book a call down below. Either way, let's go into how I solve this and how I moved forward without inhibiting my progress and still staying on track to now being where I am currently, back up and healthy and ready to tackle the last 2.5 weeks here. I'm looking leaner, I'm feeling good, and I'm just ready to finish this cut, man. But let's get to it. Like I said, no matter who you are, this moment of time is gonna hit you, and it may hit you in a different way. For you, might not be sickness. For you, might be family problem, family situation. But the thing you need to understand is, and especially when having proper structure, you realize that everything in your life must mold to fitness. Regardless of what's going on, you need to facilitate your life into still being aligned with the goal of, getting lean. You may have to put some things off. Sometimes you may have to take a week off. But the thing is, you're doing it purposefully and intentfully in order to still hit that goal. So in this case, I got sick, right? I was in the last home stretch. And I could have, I felt the sickness coming. I could have just pushed through it. But that would have just got me even more sick and having to take more time off. Or I could have just quit the cut, and I contemplated it a little bit. I was like, should I just stop it here? I'm lean enough, la la la. But I could have just done those two options and just went away from the original plan I had in mind. But because I have structure, because I understand how to, work things around my life in order to still hit my goal, and I have a floor that I'm not letting myself go beneath, because this is what the goal requires of me. So anytime I want to go beneath that, having that foundation, that structure is not allowing me to. But either way, I took a hit to my ego. I realized that, hey, I'm gonna have to rest, and yes, it's gonna slow down the progress. Yes, it's gonna slow down the time, body fat loss. It's gonna extend the time frame. But I took that to the chin, and I took 3 days completely off. I rested. I did nothing in those entire 3 days. Literally just allowed my body to recover. I ate at maintenance, so it stopped the fat loss. So I wasn't losing any muscle. That's another thing that has to do with it too. Like, I didn't try to force my fat loss through it. So I just let my body recover, ate at maintenance calories. I didn't train for 3 days. And lo and behold, here I am, healthy, talking to you, and actually back in the cut. I'm 4 days back into it now. I feel good. I've got another 2.5 weeks now, but that's how I went about it properly. This didn't destroy me. It was simply just a hiccup in the road of still headed to my destination. It was just a quick pit stop to get some gas, and then now I'm on my merry way back on the highway. Things like this can't bother you on the cut. You gotta know how to understand and how to deal with them. And if you want the structure I have, I literally have a video on this channel explaining exactly what I'm doing right now. It's how to get shredded in 12 weeks without, burnout. Because a lot of people would burn out in instances like this, and they would take either extreme, which would cause them to fail the cut. So this is really what it looks like. Like, the whole journey is not glamorous. You don't just go smooth fat loss all the way through, and then at the end of the 12 weeks, life's good. There's always going to be things in your way, and it's your job to understand how to move about them accordingly, properly, and to still hitting your goal. You can't run away from your goal. You got to attack the problem, solve it to the best of your ability, and not let it, get in the way of you achieving what you set out to. You can't just allow hiccups to totally demoralize you. And even if they do, you still have to work about them in order to get out to the other end. Either way, guys, that's where I'm currently at. Cut's still going strong. We're still on track to hit it. Nothing is out of my control. I handled everything properly, and just know something like this is going to happen to you in your cut, and you can't let it throw you off track. You still got to be the person who does what they say they're going to do. Becoming the person who gets lean no matter what, because they have the habits. They understand that this is simply just an input-output thing. So don't let things like this ruin your entire progress throughout the cut. Either way, guys, Achilles, thank you for watching this. Until the next one, we're going to be leaner and meaner in that one.